The impact of the escalating trade war between the U.S. and China is about to be felt by millions of American households. As the tit-for-tat tariff battle intensifies, it's no longer a question of if prices will go up, but how high they will climb and what sectors will be hit hardest. The latest round of tariffs has unveiled some alarming trends that could put a serious dent in your wallet. In this video, we're going to break down the most recent developments and reveal the 5 categories where prices are set to skyrocket, causing major pain at the cash register. From everyday essentials to big-ticket items, no one will be spared from the fallout. But don't worry, we'll also share actionable tips on how you can navigate these changes and minimize the financial damage to your budget. So buckle up and get ready to uncover the truth about the looming price surge. Your wallet will thank you for watching. Before we dive in, please support us by hitting the like button so more people see these important details. And stick around until the end for insider tips on how to protect yourself from the coming price shock. The latest round of tariffs unveiled some shocking new data. In this section, we'll break down the most alarming findings and reveal the 5 categories where prices are set to skyrocket, causing major pain at the cash register. First, let's examine the overall impact on prices. A study conducted by economists found that the average American household will pay an additional $625 in taxes annually due to the tariffs imposed on Chinese imports. This burden is distributed across all households regardless of income level or political affiliation, making it a truly nationwide crisis. The study also revealed that certain industries have been disproportionately affected by these tariffs, leading to significant price increases on everyday essentials. For example, the cost of furniture is expected to soar by 18%, while apparel prices are projected to jump by 14%. These figures represent a substantial shift in consumer spending power, forcing households to make tough choices about their purchases. But the impact doesn't stop there. The latest round of tariffs has introduced a new wrinkle into the trade war, creating further uncertainty and potential for disruption. Here's what you need to know. The latest round of tariffs has unveiled some shocking new data. In this section, we'll break down the most alarming findings and reveal the 5 categories where prices are set to skyrocket, causing major pain at the cash register. 1. Prepare for higher prices on imports. The escalation in tariffs means that many imported goods will become more expensive for consumers. For example, furniture, appliances, and clothing made in China will likely see price hikes as a result of the increased trade war. This will especially impact households that rely on affordable imported items to furnish their homes or outfit their families. 2. Expect fewer choices and limited availability. Tariffs can also reduce the availability of certain products in the market. When manufacturers face higher input costs due to tariffs, they may scale back production or even discontinue certain items altogether. For instance, specialty tools or hard-to-find auto parts could become more challenging to locate as suppliers grapple with the economic impact of the trade war. This reduced selection will limit consumers' options and make it harder to find the products they need at prices they can afford. 3. Monitor big-ticket items closely. Large purchases such as furniture, appliances, and vehicles will likely see some of the biggest price increases due to tariffs. These items often have long lead times for delivery, meaning that consumers may not feel the full impact of the trade war until well into next year. For example, a new study found that the average price of a refrigerator is projected to rise by 15% as a result of tariffs on steel and aluminum used in manufacturing. That means an appliance that costs $800 today could set you back over $900 by the end of the year. 4. Brace for higher costs across the board. The latest round of tariffs has expanded to cover a wide range of products, meaning that few sectors will be immune from rising prices. Even basic goods like clothing and food could see price hikes as manufacturers pass on their increased input costs to consumers. For example, a recent analysis by the Tax Foundation found that tariffs on textiles and apparel could add up to 14% to the cost of a t-shirt, while tariffs on food products could boost the price of cereal by 5%. 5. Keep a close eye on your budget. With prices set to rise across the board, it's essential to monitor your spending and make adjustments where necessary. By tracking your expenses and identifying areas where you can cut back, you can better manage the financial impact of the trade war on your household. For example, consider reducing your utility consumption, exploring cheaper alternatives for everyday purchases, or seeking out deals and discounts before they disappear under the weight of new tariffs. While the outlook for the trade war remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the cost of inaction far outweighs the challenges of finding common ground. If the U.S. and China cannot reach a compromise, we could see even more drastic measures such as full-blown trade embargoes or retaliatory currency devaluations. This would send shockwaves through the global economy, exacerbating the very problems the tariffs were intended to solve. Furthermore, allowing the trade war to drag on without resolution will only deepen the rift between the two superpowers, hindering cooperation on critical issues like climate change, pandemic preparedness, and nuclear nonproliferation. The human cost of this conflict cannot be ignored. Millions of jobs have already been lost or put at risk due to the shifting costs and reduced demand caused by the tariffs. Allowing the situation to deteriorate further will only inflict more pain on working families who deserve better from their leaders. The time has come for both sides to come to the negotiating table with a genuine commitment to finding common ground. Anything less is simply unacceptable given the stakes involved. Next, we'll delve into the hidden costs of the trade war and shed light on the real winners and losers emerging from this economic showdown. The trade war has given rise to some unexpected winners and losers. In this section, we'll delve into the hidden costs of the conflict and reveal who is profiting from the pain inflicted on American consumers. First, let's examine the real cost of the trade war. According to a recent study, the ongoing trade conflict has already resulted in significant job losses and reduced wages for American workers. The study found that the average worker has lost the equivalent of $1,350 in annual earnings since the trade war began. Additionally, the tariffs have led to a decline in business investment and innovation as companies become more cautious about the future of global trade. The uncertainty created by the trade war has also contributed to a slowdown in economic growth, which ultimately hurts all consumers regardless of their political affiliation. Next, let's explore the winners of the trade war. Surprisingly, one sector that has benefited from the trade war is the domestic manufacturing industry. When the trade war began, many companies in the United States shifted their supply chains away from China to avoid higher tariffs. This shift has led to increased production and investment in domestic manufacturing, which in turn has boosted employment and wages in this sector. However, it's important to note that the benefits of this shift have not been evenly distributed, and many communities that relied on trade with China have suffered economically. The losers of the trade war are primarily American consumers who have had to bear the brunt of higher prices and reduced choices in the marketplace. The tariffs imposed on Chinese imports have made everyday items like furniture, clothing, and electronics more expensive, putting pressure on household budgets. Additionally, the trade war has disrupted the supply chain for many products, leading to shortages and longer wait times for certain items. This situation is particularly challenging for consumers who rely on specific products for work or other essential purposes. Despite these challenges, there is hope for consumers. By staying informed and making conscious purchasing decisions, we can mitigate the negative impacts of the trade war on our wallets. One way to do this is by supporting businesses that prioritize fair trade practices and sustainable sourcing. By choosing products made by companies committed to ethical labor standards and environmental responsibility, we can ensure that our purchases align with our values and support a more equitable global economy. Moreover, embracing a minimalist mindset and reducing our overall consumption can help us become more resilient to economic fluctuations. By focusing on quality over quantity and repairing or repurposing items whenever possible, we can minimize our reliance on constantly buying new products and insulate ourselves against the rising costs associated with the trade war. As the trade war between the U.S. and China rages on, it's crucial to remember that the true cost is borne by everyday consumers like you and me. While certain industries may benefit from the economic fallout, the average American household is grappling with higher prices, reduced choices, and tighter budgets. It's a reality that transcends political affiliations and affects us all. By shedding light on the real winners and losers of this conflict, we can work towards a more equitable and sustainable economic future for everyone. Don't let the complexities of global trade overshadow the human impact of these decisions. Stay informed, make conscious choices, and demand better from our leaders. Together, we can create a brighter future that prioritizes fairness, sustainability, and prosperity for all. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel to ensure you do not miss our next video.